Hi, Roger at Weathering Heights. This is the VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook. This is valid on this date, the 26th of October, Sunday. This will be valid through next Saturday, November the 1st. We have a slow internet connection this morning, so this is going to be a fairly short video. First and foremost, just wanted to show where the cold air is locked up across the northern areas of the northern hemisphere. It's mainly Greenland, some areas near the pole, but some of that colder weather tried to make its way south, and later in the week that'll be felt across our neck of the woods, producing perhaps the first touches of snow down to the valley floors. That could happen around the 1st of November. We'll be watching that closely. And this is a quick look at the jet stream. You can see the jet stream coming off the Pacific Ocean and relatively shortwave troughs. This is a long wave trough here off the eastern seaboard where areas of low pressure top over a ridge and then develop into a stronger system before moving out into the Canadian Maritimes. The weather pattern overall is progressive. That is, these smaller weather systems will be tracking across our region over the course of this week. So synoptically, what we're looking at is a flow coming in out of the northwest. This is currently valid on Sunday morning, and we're seeing a few scattered rain showers. Those rain showers, it looks like, begin to dry up during the overnight period. Sunday night into early Monday morning, a small ridge of higher pressure then builds in across the region, ending the precipitation, and that sets up what should be a good project day for Monday. It does look like it stays dry, but off to the west, over the Great Lakes, yet another weather system will be working on through at the next shortwave trough. This comes in as a warm front. It actually pushes warmer air into the region so that Tuesday will be probably the warmest day of this week. And that warm frontal precipitation mainly across northern sections during the day on Tuesday. And then an occluded front moves on through. It looks like during Tuesday night. This could also bring a couple thunderclaps to our region, a couple isolated benign type thunderstorms, nothing major there. And then that frontal system works on through, but then temperatures do cool down, as you can see here. The light dashed blue lines, that signifies temperatures getting colder aloft. And even though we do dry out, we do have, it looks like, some decent project weather for Thursday. This may last into Friday. Here comes the next weather system. Looks like we have cold air in place. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. An area of higher pressure across the central part of the United States here will then coincide with a strong northerly flow. This is a trough of low pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere as well. In this area of low pressure off the coast, it could signify some precipitation. At this point in time, it could be cold enough to snow. So we're talking toward the day after Halloween, probably when that starts to take place, and you can see some precipitation here. It looks like light amounts, and the latest QPF out of the European, that is accumulated precipitation, looks like it's probably under a tenth of an inch, but that could still be enough to produce a little tiny snow, maybe onto valley floors, something we'll have to watch for this weekend. It does look like things gradually do dry out and pull away offshore, but we remain relatively cold. So this weekend, a lot colder than we've seen in a while, and cold enough onto valley floors potentially for some snow. Maybe just on grassy surfaces. We'll have to wait and see as we get closer in time. Here's precipitation total accumulated from the hydro folks over at the Water Prediction Center. And the latest indications are that we're looking at probably about a half inch. So relatively dry week with minor weather systems working on to and fro. Temperature anomalies overall averaging above normal for maximum temperatures. You can see roughly about 3 degrees roughly in our neck of the woods here in Vermont. But you might notice just about coast to coast. Now let's change this for 3 days later, and this is valid 3 to 7 day forecast. This is valid through 0Z on Wednesday, excuse me, 0Z on Monday. That would be basically through Sunday night, and the west warms up. A bit of a cool down in the east, near normal temperatures across Maine, so we're into the slightly colder air as we get into the later part of the week. And again, that's when there's a slight possibility of a little bit of a dusting of snow on some folks' grass as we get into next week. And this is a look at the Iowa State Meteogram Generator with the centered on Montpelier, Vermont, the temperature schematic this week. We're basically looking at a cool start to the week into Monday. Temperatures make a bit of a rise back into the upper 40s, but the real day with the warmth that moves in is National Weather Service is thinking that we might even bust 60 degrees. That's still a possibility, Of much more likelihood, though, is that we get into at least the mid and upper 50s. All of this taking place on Tuesday with this roller coaster. So we start out cold. We sharply warm up, it looks like, for the middle part of the week. Uh, Wednesday, by the European model, is much cooler, but those temperatures incrementally get cooler as we head toward this next weekend. So cold, warm, cold weather pattern. And this is the GFS ensemble forecast. This temperature here, 32 degrees. This is at surface. This is centered on Burlington, Vermont. You can see the high, the low, the high. Cooler weather, basically in the upper 30s, and then that maximum temperature up into the mid and upper 50s. This indicated by the GFS ensemble, and then a slow incremental fall. You notice these temperatures, they do get below freezing. We have any precipitation, that's going to be an issue. Again, roughly around the 1st of November, we'll have to watch out for potential slippery travel and affecting area roads. Right now, it does not look like a big deal. But again, 850 millibar temperature, approximately the top of Mount Mansfield. Your temperature is warmest definitely on Tuesday afternoon, and then a cold front takes place, and then that pushes cooler air into the region. These temperatures going below the freezing mark, 0 degrees Celsius, aloft, means we could see some frozen precipitation, something we'll have to keep a close eye on. But that's then, and that's just down the road a piece. Here's another look at precipitation, again centered on Burlington, Vermont, the GFS ensemble. A little bit of precipitation today. It looks like we do dry out for Monday. Then we get into more precipitation, relatively light amounts. This will take place on Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, into Wednesday. And then a little bit of a drying period, and then we get into temperatures cold enough that some of the whiskers here are showing out precipitation in the form of snow. Anytime you see that green change to blue, that's what that means. And according to GFS, this will be the period here where we could see a little bit of snow potential. So something down the road to watch. Right now, it should not be a threat for utilities, and overall maybe a little bit of an issue for some roads. All the later details will come later this week as we get closer into time with this weather system. Otherwise, no gradient winds and really not a bad stretch once again. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights Consulting.